Seltzer.com. Get some 8% seltzer shipped right to your house. We got the peach, we got the watermelon, we got the pina colada, and the blue raspberry. We are currently live in over 300 stores in Tennessee, Alabama, Georgia, Florida, and the Outer Banks in North Carolina. And if you're heading out to the Major League ballparks this summer, make sure to check us out in the Miami Marlins Stadium, as well as Tropicana Field, home to the Tampa Bay Rays, as well as the Tampa Bay Rowdies. We are live inside all three stadiums. So if you're down in Florida this year, check us out. Go to hardafseltzer.com today and check your store locator or order them right to your house.
Welcome to Drinking Bros, presented by GhostBed.com.
Yeah, welcome to Drinkin' Bros Sports Monday morning recap. As always, we're brought to you by MyBookie.com. Promo code Drinkin' Bros now gives you up to 110% back on your original deposit. It's the highest offer they've ever had in the history of their company. All you got to do is use that promo code Drinkin' Bros there, and I will be using it. I got absolutely clobbered this weekend. All my slips are posted for college and NFL and Drinkin' Bros Sports on Facebook here. My God, this was an absolute disaster. Now, a listener pointed out, tallied up the last 2 weekends before, that I had won $15,282 is what he said. I usually leave it in there. My wife actually convinced me to take some out on Friday for an anniversary. She goes, "Hey, dude, I want to go do this thing." And I was like, all right. Thank God she did. I got absolutely fucking crushed. Since it happened yesterday, we'll start with the NFL first here. Whew. So many teams I thought were going to be great this year are not. I don't know what's happening or why, and now I look at the 49ers and start to ask myself, is this the best team in football? I know you got an Eagles jersey on. That would probably be the other team.
No.
Really?
Probably not, no.
49ers?
Did you watch that game yesterday?
Sure did. I had a lot of money on that game, and I lost. I lost that Eagles game.
Sam Howell kind of torched us.
It was strange, right?
Yeah, but he also has Scary Terry,
They got a lot of
Samuel,
weapons.
Jahan
Yep.
Dotson, and fucking Brian Robbins. They have a good team.
But Dotson went out. He got hurt in the second half, and he was gone.
Divisional
but
game,
he's
though.
there.
Yeah.
They just always do
But
this to us.
Dotson's their fucking slot. Like if one guy goes off the field, that's the one. I mean, he's a slot deep guy, right? That's what he does. He runs from the slot and catches balls deep. Scary Terry's the guy that catches in traffic, right?
And listen, if the Eagles only had a quarterback, if they only had a quarterback.
Look, you guys are still undefeated, so let's not overreact here. He's got a Jalen Hurts jersey on. There he is.
It's Jalen Hurts, Kelly Green.
Let's see. That's a beautiful jersey, actually.
I got it from China. It was $30.
Was it really?
I wasn't expecting this to come in the mail at all. I also have a Devonta Smith white jersey.
Very high quality jersey.
Where'd you get it from?
I thought it was real.
Slave.com.
It was a it was a website that was trying to
I tried to buy that.
get the SEO off Fanatics, but it was like Fanatics spelt wrong, and it was like Fanatics online store, and I didn't realize it until I checked out. I'm like, oh, I'm not getting this jersey. Surprisingly, came in the mail.
It's actually very nice.
I
by
know.
the way. It's high quality.
But they for sure stole my identity. So
They did.
Well,
Jokes
I
on
mean,
them.
you don't have much of an identity.
No,
so.
jokes on them.
So let's get to Jalen Hurts since you're wearing the jersey and all that stuff. I watched this game. I lost a lot of money on this game. I'm not going to overreact on the Eagles, though. They're a very good team, very deep. Yes, this is a divisional opponent. The one thing I can't understand about Jalen Hurts is him running the fucking ball so much. So last week it was 12 carries. This week, 9 carries. It's a lot for a quarterback.
Well, listen.
Are they all design runs?
That's what I wanted to ask you.
A lot of them are 4th and 1, right?
Yeah.
It's the
push.
The push.
Yeah.
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 So
Which is whatever. I mean, Sam Howell on that game-tying drive ran the ball like 4 times.
And also, Hurts has this little move, too, now that everyone's starting to, jam the middle.
Yeah.
He'll fake the middle, and then he'll go to the outside.
go to the outside, which is what you should.
I mean, they need to turn that into play action at some point and bootleg, right?
Just a little jump pass.
Yeah, I mean, just all you got to do is break one of your fucking
You
tight
just
ends
can't
free,
stop
right?
it. So
Yeah.
But my joke is all about Jalen Hurts and the Eagles as if they had a quarterback. Clearly, they built this offense around his strengths and weaknesses. I feel the same way about the 49ers with Brock Purdy.
Shouldn't you do that?
Well, that's
Shouldn't you cater your offense to who you have?
So
your personnel?
this is where I'm going with
That's
this.
what good coaches do.
Right. Is this the future of the NFL? Because if you look at like a Joe Burrow right now, who's 1-3, you just spent the most amount of money you've ever spent on a quarterback. They're 1-3. Besides one good half, he's looked like dog shit the entire year. Is this the new NFL where you draft somebody and then build around them? Because I look at a team like the Falcons. They're trying to do this with Desmond Ridder. He is awful, and this is not working whatsoever.
I think they're treading water with Desmond Ridder. I don't think they, for any amount of time, believe that he's the quarterback 6 years from now. Right? Nobody believes that in Atlanta.
I don't, but I want to bench him right now.
But for whom?
That he's the quarterback.
Taylor Heineke.
But why? Right? Why?
I actually
What
want to
difference
see
is-
if Taylor Heineke could sling it around and just see what happens.
But what difference does it make? Like Ritter doesn't turn the ball over that much, so leave him there.
But it's ideal to have like a 4th or 5th round quarterback like a Sam Howell on a rookie contract, and you just build everything around him. And as long as they're competent, like, yeah, your team's going to be awesome.
Yeah, because you take Sam Howell. It's a great example, and I'm glad you brought it up. With him, he had a shitty year in his last year at college. It caused him to fall in the draft. If he would have went out the year before, probably would have been maybe 1 or 2.
He probably would have been a top 10 pick.
Yep.
So you saved a lot of money because he went in, the 6th round?
Oh, yeah, he's making $4 to play there right now.
And then next year, like the Redskins should probably trade. They should probably trade up into the top part of the 2nd round, keep their 1st round pick, and take 2 offensive linemen. And then you're talking about a team that can win the conference next year, right? Like they're that close. Defense is super good. Takeaway margin is usually pretty good. The offense, except for the line, is pretty good, but this line's killing them.
The Eagles are so deep, though. It depends on how long they're going to be able to keep those guys together.
The Eagles' defense is going to be deep for the next 3 to 5 years.
Yeah.
So that's not. Don't even worry about that. And the offense, we'll see. They're not going to have Swift, Gainwell, so on and so forth forever. But
does that even matter anymore? I look at Swift and Gainwell. You're just kind of moving in these running backs. Nobody really cares if they get hurt because there's another one, and it seems like they just keep popping up. That guy from Miami has 50 million fucking fantasy points in the last 2 weeks. I don't even know his name.
Raheem Mostert?
No,
it's
the other Shane, guy. Kanye or something like that. I'm like, I got destroyed by him over the weekend in fantasy. But as you're looking at these lists over here of, just the top of the league, like Brock Purdy, 4-0 at San Francisco, not a sexy pick, last pick in the draft.
1 incompletion.
Geno Smith I think they're going to win tonight, and they might turn to 3-1. That's fucking Geno Smith,
bury
for
the
Christ's
lead.
sakes.
Don't bury the fucking lead.
Baker Mayfield is 3-1 and leading the
Only
NFC South was to the Eagles. Yep.
So maybe are the Bucks good?
Let Baker.
Are the Bucks
let
good?
Baker bake. It's a slow burn.
Oh, God, dude. And then you got the rest of these guys, like the Commanders, look decent in that game.
Actually, the entire top of the NFC. Now, first, it should be noted that we said before the season started that the NFC has, like, dog shit quarterbacks compared to the AFC. Like, every quarterback in the AFC is insane.
Yes.
Well, do they?
Well, that's the thing, though, is it doesn't. I mean, look, I'll take probably like 5, 6, 7 quarterbacks in the AFC over Purdy, but Purdy's still dope. But you have Jared Goff with the first place Lions. Fucking Hurts is great with the Eagles, so that's not one. But then Baker and who is
I'll name him. No, I'll name him just from the AFC. Here's who I would take: Josh Allen.
Yeah,
I'd take Tua. I would take Aaron Rodgers if he was healthy. I would take Lamar Jackson over him.
I'd take C.J. Stroud.
Yeah, he's on fire
because he looks like he did not play like this at Ohio State.
He doesn't have one interception the entire year.
He had relative to the competition, he had a better offensive line at Ohio State.
He had a better NFL team at Ohio State.
Relative to the competition, for sure, he had a better offensive line. He had better receivers. He had better running backs. All of that at Ohio State, and he couldn't fucking do anything until like midway through the second quarter.
He played this well. Don't let Ross poison your brain.
He didn't.
Remember, he always trashed CJ Stroud. Like bench CJ,
but he got benched. He did bench CJ Stroud.
He was a notoriously slow starter. Could not get in rhythm until like the middle part of the second quarter. In most games he played at Ohio State his senior year.
Yes,
that was a problem, right? Because they got off schedule, got behind, and then played catch up later in the game, and weren't able to take advantage of having the 2 best running backs at the country at the time, right?
And they did bench him.
Now he's playing on the shittiest team ever assembled. Granted, they have some talent on their offensive line, I guess, but they don't have huge name skill position players.
None.
Than him.
I like D'Amico Ryans as a coach, though.
So do I.
100%.
100%. Yes.
I agree with that. So it's like C.J. Stroud and in Shanahan's offense.
Jesus.
Or can anybody beat that 49ers team? Not that Brock Purdy's bad.
When do we just
I think he's
acknowledge
good.
that Brock Purdy's a good quarterback?
I don't think I will.
He is. I think he
Until
is.
he
How long
wins
will
the
it take?
Super Bowl.
3 Super Bowls? 4 Super Bowls?
One. Just give me one. One Super Bowl and I'll say it. But
Yeah,
even then,
one would be
let's
enough.
go back to like that Tampa team. Who was the quarterback? And that was it Brad Johnson? Or,
Yeah, Brad Johnson.
We'll never say that he was good and he won a Super Bowl.
And then who was the Ravens guy?
But Brad Johnson
Dilfer?
wasn't putting up
Trent
like
Flacco.
300
Yeah.
yards a game.
Dilfer.
Dilfer was on the team that won.
Dilfer was a liability, though.
Yeah, but I mean, he's more like honestly, Purdy. Look, Purdy could. This is crazy to say, but he could just be early career Tom Brady right
He's
now.
putting up better numbers than Brady did.
I'm just saying though, but he had like the Brady. That's how everyone felt about Brady, like a winner, but kind of a game manager until Randy Moss got there and Brady just like uncorked the fucking cannon, like just took complete control of everything.
But that's Belichick, right? It's
Yeah.
like
We think.
to your point from before. No, not that Brady wasn't capable of always doing that. Belichick looked not just at the quarterback, but the entire team and goes, here's our best chance of winning, is to play this way. I know you can do this. I know you can do this. But if you do this and he does this, then we win. And that's what Belichick has 7 rings.
The only game Purdy
Or
has
6 rings,
lost
whatever.
is because his arm just went noodle. It went limp.
It broke
I
off.
don't, that's not on him.
It
He was
broke
out in
off
the
and
first
into
quarter,
the
right?
ocean.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
he had to come back in because their backup got hurt. So he just handed the ball off. He was 4 for 4, 100% completion rate.
Yeah, and Bob, I wasn't done with the AFC, by the way.
Yeah, I
'Cause I'll
know.
go to Deshaun Watson. I'll go to Joe Burrow. I will
Deshaun
go
Watson
to,
over Purdy, not one fucking
I wouldn't
prayer.
take Watson
that.
at this
I
point.
will,
over Purdy.
Not one prayer.
Richardson. Richardson has had
No, 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 no,
9,000
no, no, no.
points this
He's
year.
but not enough catalog
Yeah.
on him.
But
to make
Small
you're
sample.
right.
Small
CJ
sample.
Stroud.
But Herbert.
Lawrence.
Herbert,
Trevor Lawrence.
I don't know about Lawrence
Pat
yet.
Mahomes. Herbert.
I don't know about Herbert or Lawrence yet. When I say yet, I meant Lawrence. I don't know about Herbert.
I'll say with this for Herbert,
Over
which
Purdy.
would maybe make me lean Purdy, is that probably no one has as much talent on offense as Purdy, but Herbert's got a lot of talent on
He's got a lot of
offense.
talent, but he's
And-
got the worst coach in the
Yeah,
league as
100%.
well. So that's when I say I'm not sure about Herbert yet. I would have said that about Matt Stafford in the preseason when he came over to the Rams. Like, yeah, we'll see. I think that's going to be really good.
Listen,
but we'll
right.
see.
Herbert's awesome, but he's also a loser.
He's been a loser. Yeah.
He has been a loser.
And it's like 9-7 every fucking year for the
No.
Chargers.
But
Or
is it
7-9.
him or the coach? And that I can't figure
We'll
out
see.
over there.
At
We'll
some
see.
point, it might be both.
But then I go to the NFC here. I wouldn't start a team with one of these quarterbacks.
Hurts, I would.
Hurts, you would?
Yeah.
So-
And honestly, dude, fucking give me Jared Goff too. Goff's been to a Super Bowl.
Goff's dope.
Goff is dope.
He's
Goff
having a good year.
We're gonna have a Detroit
take
Lions
Geno.
fan on the show tomorrow who's gonna make some picks with us. So golf, yes, golf has been pretty good. Why has he always been shit on you? Think?
Also, what's wrong with Stafford? He's broken, but
He's having a good
yeah,
year.
you're right. We forget that he was really fucking good on Detroit. You're right.
But he's having
You're
a
right.
Really good with
he's-
the Rams.
He's having a good year. He's second in the league in passing this year so far.
Yeah,
They're back.
They're
Rams
2
are
and
back.
Well, they're
two
not
and
back.
two.
They don't have
I mean,
Cup. They don't have Cooper Cup. He'll be back in like week 7, I think, if what I read's correct.
I think the
And
Rams.
they've got a shot. Like if Cooper Cup comes back, the Rams have a
When I
shot. I
say-
mean, the NFC is all over the fucking place.
Yeah.
So yeah, they've got a shot.
When I say- entire division's
when I say
actually kinda
back,
good.
I think he might be back active by next week 6.
Yeah.
But in sync and actually playing Cooper Cup style football, it's probably week 7.
Right. It's not that the NFC West isn't good, by the way. I just meant for the wild card. There's going to be slots open where 3 teams could come out of the NFC West pretty easily.
Yeah.
Where 49ers are in.
And the Cardinals are annoying.
Seahawks.
The Cardinals
I know
can
they
beat
are.
anyone.
I just had this conversation. So the game was on yesterday at one of the kids' functions for their birthday party, and one of the dads had asked about the Cardinals, and they were like, "Do you bet?" They were like, "You bet a lot." I was like, "Yeah, I bet a lot." I was like, "The Cardinals have fucked me on every single
They're
bet
supposed
this
to
year."
be fucking awful.
Awful,
And
they've
they
been
are
they've
in
hung
every
into
game.
every single game. You're right.
The 49ers barely covered.
Barely covered. And Josh Dobbs had to get his own jersey into the fucking shop at the Cardinals, which has been widely documented at this point. But is your number 1 overall team? Because I watched that fucking Chiefs game last night. We had a lot of money on that. Thanks, Pat Mahomes, for sliding at the 1 there. That was fun. I watched him throw 3 horrific interceptions in that game, and I couldn't believe it. I mean, they weren't even close.
Well, it's not. I don't blame him for that.
Who is it?
It's no one to throw to. That and his longtime offensive coordinator's gone, right?
Yeah.
His security blanket.
was
The enemy
Nagy
is gone.
OC with Mahomes too, or just Smith?
No, it was just Bieniemy.
No, I think Nagy was in Chicago then, wasn't
But
he?
Nagy went from Chiefs OC to Chicago head coach.
But I think I think
he was all Bieniemy this entire
okay,
I think
career, from my
that was
understanding.
because that was in 17 and Mahomes started in 18.
Okay.
Right? I think maybe I'm wrong about that, but I think that's what it was.
But he threw some bad picks that were like, one was just lofted into the air, and then he immediately said, "My bad, I just lofted this," and was like, he looked so out of sorts. The Kansas City team looked strange this year. It felt like it was part of some script with Taylor Swift last night to keep it close, at least.
No.
It was bizarre.
Zach Wilson
I've never
just played
seen
well.
Pat Mahomes that bad. I'm not saying Zach Wilson didn't play well, but Patrick Mahomes was awful. Like, those 3 interceptions are so uncharacteristic because they were so far off. It wasn't like it was a tip ball or something.
Well,
I mean, he just tossed it directly to the other team.
Pat Mahomes is dead to me for another reason.
Right.
And that's
for
'cause
winning
he's
the Super Bowl in
taking-
one leg.
Oh, I thought
No,
it was 'cause
that-
I thought it was because he's black.
Well, no, it's because he slid at the 1 yard line
Oh yeah.
and didn't cover the 7.
That's
Oh, okay, yeah.
Who
Yeah,
did that
yeah.
before? Todd Gurley that time. Remember that?
Yeah.
Well,
Gurley.
no, Todd Gurley went into the end zone when they told him to go down at the 1
Oh,
and run
he
the clock
fell
out.
in.
And
That's
then
right,
the other team won. But the Chiefs did that to literally win the Super Bowl.
Yep.
McKinnon
To take a knee.
slid at the 1 or whatever.
But the money was on I had the Chiefs on it, so
I was
fine
here
with
watching
that.
him watch
What-
them
what
not
do you-
cover.
But I was fine with that.
What do you think about? I mean, this is and it's not even close, by the way. This is the best game Zach Wilson's ever had in the NFL, ever, and it's not even close. You look at his other
Yeah,
games,
yeah.
rating wise, efficiency, all that stuff, not turning the ball over against the Chiefs, who have a pretty good defense. Right?
Micah Parsons says he's not that bad.
Look,
He says he should be a starter in the NFL.
so Chris Jones last night, they got interviewed. I don't know if you guys saw the controversy on this with Rodney Harrison.
They tried to start some shit. Like, shut the fuck up, dude. Why are you doing that?
Well, if you're Rodney Harrison, like, if you're on a podcast saying that, that's fine. If you're reporting on the game that you guys are hosting on your network,
like right after the game, too.
I don't think you should be able to say that another starting quarterback is his exact quote was garbage live on air. And
Gotta
he was
have
trying
takes.
To, well, I
Gotta fire takes.
but not on the network itself immediately after the game. Chris Jones, to his credit, did not take the bait, and he goes, "No, I think Zach Wilson is a special player,
Well,
and I think he can be good in this league."
To be fair to him, and I understand it's not the same show, but like that's literally the reason people love Inside the NBA. Because Charles Barkley just come on and be like, he's trash.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah,
oh, that's
like,
terrible.
That boy can't read. You know what I mean? Like,
But he's
he'll
not
just say all
saying
kinds
it
of
to
shit.
players, though, on air.
He's saying it about players, though. Like, they say all Shaq.
Also,
like,
if they're
they
at
basically
the
call him
games,
pussies.
if they're like sidelined,
Yeah.
they'll say it to their face.
Yeah, oh, yeah, they will. So, like that, honestly, maybe they're just trying to chase a TNT model. You can kind of see everybody trying to.
Yeah.
MLB, the playoffs are about to start. Well, I'm sure we'll get to that.
We will.
But the playoffs are about to start, and you're about to see
Pedro.
2 of the worst fucking studio
Well, you won't be
shows.
able to
Oh my
understand
God.
anything Pedro or David Ortiz say.
They're the worst.
You need to skip that. Mark,
For whatever reason, I don't mind. I like David Ortiz, but I don't like Pedro.
I
just
can't understand him.
And looking
I
at
can't-
it,
yeah.
the way that his head is so round.
Pedro's
not-
upsetting to
like
look at.
Every part of his head is round. It's like there's one round for the fucking afro, there's one round for the head, there's one round for the fucking double chin.
A round for each
There's
cheek.
round for each cheek. It's like there's too many circles.
It's
dude.
a cartoon
Yeah.
head.
Yeah. Can I get something else in there?
You just don't recognize Pedro's greatness.
Ugh.
No,
what
he
it
was.
is.
He had one of the best fucking 10-year runs of any pitcher in Major League Baseball history.
But everyone wants to crib that style. And like I said, MLB tries so hard. And maybe, I don't
You
know, maybe
can't-
Sunday Night Football is trying to
You can't recreate that magic. I think the NFL has done it with the Manning brothers. Like I love that Manning cast. Full disclosure, I watched the shit out of that. I hate Joe Buck Naked and Troy Aikman, so I watched that and I enjoy it. Inside the NBA though, like that is just magic. What they have, that chemistry, like I don't know how you cast that.
Yeah. Well, baseball playoffs, you're going to see a lot of Francoeur as well. He's
Jeff
doing-
In the
Francoeur,
booth,
he's
yeah.
not bad. He's not bad.
Francoeur and Smoltz are a big part of the broadcast.
I like
teams.
Schmaltz too.
But Buck will be in for the World Series, I would imagine, unless they
Gross.
get Costas or something.
No. Buck doesn't work at Fox anymore.
He doesn't work
do
at
the-
that's
Fox.
true, yeah.
He doesn't do the World Series anymore.
Costas
it was
wants
Kevin
to do it, by the way.
something.
Yeah,
I
Kevin
love,
Costas
Harlan
wants to do it.
Yes,
Kevin Harlan,
I
the
think
guy,
that's
the
it.
guy, or is it him? Or
Yeah,
is
it's
it the-
Harlan.
Kevin
Yeah.
Harlan does NBA, right?
No. It's the guy who used to be the fucking main announcer for the Brewers back in the day, but he does NBA games as well.
Yes.
The fuck is his name?
I don't know. He's
Shit.
He's very good. While you're looking that up, I'm
Yeah,
going
he's
to get
one
to
of
the
the best.
sponsors real quick. We're brought to you by MyBookie.com. Promo code Drinkin' Bros. We'll double that deposit up to 110%. So if you put in 1,000, you get 1,100 back. If you put in 100, you're getting 110 back there. You get it. You get the fucking drill there. You're getting
Brian Anderson.
110% back over there, the largest double deposit they've ever had in the history of their company over there. And it's simply because everybody's gambling on it. It's a blast. I said this before on other shows on this network, and I'll say it again. I gamble for fun. Don't put your fucking mortgage on this, but it's a blast to have something on in the background and to watch the games. I often do it with teasers and parlays and all that shit so I can watch the entire game. I will be doing it tonight with Seattle versus the Giants as well. I'll get their takes in a second on that. But all of our odds are from mybookie.com. Promo code Drinkin' Bros will give you 110% back on that deposit. No one has ever done it like this, and this is the first time they've done it in the history of their company. So shout out to them. Next up, we got drinkinbrostickets.com. If you want tickets to any of these events, head on down to drinkinbrostickets.com. NFL, college football, rodeos, concerts, U2 at the Sphere now. Everybody's going to do that. That's the new fucking jam. Adele, whatever you can think of, you got it over there at drinkinbrostickets.com. And if you're over there, if you're at the stadiums, Tampa Bay Rays, Tampa Bay Rowdies, and the Miami Marlins, all three teams that we sponsor have made the playoffs for Hard AF Seltzer. Yes, I'm saying it is because of the Hard AF Seltzer. That's it. That's the only thing that I can think of. You have three teams at random. They all make the playoffs in the same goddamn year.
Those Marlins and Rays crowds were dead before they got Hard AF in them.
Sure were, dude. Now they're alive.
Now the Rays are getting a new stadium.
They sure are. Yeah, they are.
So
we did that too. You're welcome, Tampa.
Well, St. Pete, but whatever.
We did that.
I don't support Tampa trash.
Sure.
Because that's like, I got too many friends from down there.
I understand.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Steve.
Yeah, Steve.
He's real Tampa trash.
Sure is, dude.
I know he's hiding in Orlando pretending to be from up there.
We'll see him soon.
He's Tampa trash.
Don't even know his last name.
His
name's Steve Duffy.
Steve Duffy. He's running the Magic. We're over there. We're at Amway Center this fall, by the way. So you can go in there and see the Solar Bears and the Magic play and have some Hard AF Seltzer. And that'll get kicked off in 2 weeks. And then I gave Bob the Drinking Bro of the Week on fake news over here because I consulted with him about the Marlins. Man, that was a pretty wild call, Bob.
I don't think so. They brought over Luis Arez. He led the league in hitting. Such a young
team, though.
He was the batting title champion in the AL last year, and he's the batting title champion in the NL this year. Plus, they've got Jorge Soler. I mean, they got a good fucking team.
They have a good team. Although I will say they did not. That's not that they benefited, but there should have been more teams in play than there were. I'm thinking specifically of like the Cardinals and Giants being way worse than they should have been.
Yep. Yeah, fair enough, but that happens. By the way, that announcer's name is Brian Anderson.
Brian Anderson.
He's one of the best. He's one of the top 5 like game announcers that exists right now. One of my favorites. At any rate.
Yeah, we'll get to MLB playoffs in a second here.
We're not going to get too deep into it because Wednesday at noon on this very channel, myself, Bob, and Ryan Spader, our Philly guy, real Philly guy, not this guy with the knockoff jersey, and Gary Sheffield Jr., who's a Yankees
from
fan.
the same place.
Spader's
from Ridley, I think.
Yeah, he's a total fucking Delco piece of trash, too. Yeah, and he's also a Marine, which makes him an even bigger piece of shit. Gary Sheffield Jr., noon, Wednesday at this channel. Central. Be there.
Playoff preview.
Playoff preview for MLB. In the meantime, I want to get your bets on tonight's game. I said it on a show earlier here, and I'll repeat my pick tonight. Tonight, we've got the Seattle Seahawks at the New York Giants. Now, this line has moved. It was -1. It is now up to -2.5 because Saquon Barkley has announced that he is out in this game. Who you got tonight, D'Anthony? This does not change my opinion, by the way.
You know, to be honest, I want to take the Seahawks, but west to east like that, I think the fucking Giants probably win this. I think they win.
Ooh, okay. Over-under is 46 in this game. You touching that?
No.
Okay.
Because the Seahawks could score that amount of points, to be honest. I don't know what Danny Dimes is going to do without a run game. I mean, maybe he just takes off and starts running.
He is the run game.
He is the run game.
You know what I mean?
That's him. Yep.
So it's like that's almost a coin flip in a game. If he's able to complete mid-range passes and run like that, they have a chance to win anytime against any opponent. But, you know, DK Metcalf, Jackson Smith and Jigma.
I know. Tyler Lockett,
yeah.
They got fucking Walker in the backfield. Walker, dude, it's a loaded offense.
But they haven't really been – I mean, it doesn't look like the Seahawks of last year yet. That doesn't mean it won't at some point, but they're still kind of figuring shit out right now.
But if they win tonight, because I've got a lot of these guys in fantasy, refuse to draft JSN, obviously, for personal reasons. But I got Geno Smith, I got Walker on a team, and I got Tyler Lockett on a team. They've been great. Metcalf has had a pretty good season so far. If they win tonight, they'll be 3-1, and that's the best you could hope for to start a season. Delco, who you got in this one tonight?
I got the Giants money line.
Whoa,
that's what I'm taking.
So they're 1 and
west
2.
to east.
No, I get it.
It's a notoriously difficult game to win.
Well, what about you? What's your reasoning behind it?
It's just been a weird week. Why not?
It sure has.
Why not just add on to it?
It sure has. I lost my ass this week. Bob, who do you got?
I'll take the Seahawks. They're better. Also, I mean, west to east sucks, but at least, I don't know, they've had probably an extra day there.
Because of Monday game. That's where I live, too. So I'm with you. Now that this is 2.5 here, I'm all in on Seattle minus 2.5. That still gets you onto that field goal range. I don't have to buy a half a point or any of that bullshit. So I'm good on that. And because I am chasing now, chased last night and it paid off on that stupid teaser, but I'm going to do the same. I'm going to take Seattle minus 2.5. I'm also going to put this in a teaser as well and try to win this 3 different ways here. I'm going to drop that under down to 39. As well, and more than likely cross the fucking 0, which you shouldn't do, but I'm going to do it anyways. I'm desperate tonight to get some money back. I might go a full Ariana Grande in the Seahawks tonight. Check in here right after the show's over. I'll post this bet as soon as the show is over here. We'll switch on over to college football.
There's more in the NFL.
What do we got?
Jonathan Taylor's practicing with the Colts this week.
Oh, that's right. It's week 5. He doesn't have a choice. He's got to come back or he's not going to get paid.
So what do you think is going to happen there? Are they going to practice him and then not play him? Or is he going to fucking play? Because he can't, like, his options are pretty limited at this point, right?
Yeah.
And Richardson is back, right? I mean, Sam Ehlinger's out.
Yep.
He's listed as out, so...
Richardson starts,
I'm just kidding.
And he's been amazing.
Sam Ehlinger doesn't play football.
He'll never play football.
But Zach Moss has actually played okay. Trey Sermon has been okay, right?
Yeah.
Here and there. So, I mean, Taylor comes back into this lineup this week or next week. It's a completely different football team, right? I mean, you have literally a top 5 running back at that point. Mm-hmm. I think that's really interesting.
They've been looking good. They've been feisty. What are they, 2-2?
Yeah, and
but
Anthony
could go either
Richardson,
way.
dude, fantasy-wise, has been on fucking fire, man.
He can also come in and fuck up that clubhouse too, right?
Yeah.
But he doesn't really seem like that kind of guy. Nobody said that when he was going through all this shit. Nobody was really giving him that much shit.
Is the whole division 2-2?
Pretty much.
I think so, yeah.
Look, he certainly makes a difference, and Anthony Richardson has looked fucking good, man. So it's a fun team. It just depends on where his head's at or what you can get for him in a pick right now, because there certainly is a lot of teams that need a running back in the NFL. So what do you do? Because if he gets hurt, let's say he gets hurt opening game, then you get nothing for him, and then boom, that's it. He also gets nothing as well. I'm not sure what's going to happen with this one.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm very curious to see what happens with that. Whether, like, are they going to use this as an audition to get somebody to, like, okay, Jonathan Taylor is still Jonathan Taylor, we'll trade you XYZ for him? Or do you think they're actually going to try to fold him back in?
I mean, I don't know. I feel like it's just trades don't happen in the NFL, really, right?
Not mid-season.
So, to me, they're just going to play him. Maybe Taylor sees it and he's like, all right, well, might as well get paid and have fun because this team's a lot better than I thought it was going to be. You got to think part of the reason he wanted to sit out maybe a little bit was just like, this team's going to be asshole.
Yeah.
Like, why am I going to kill my body for nothing?
And now they look pretty decent, and Richardson looks pretty decent.
Yeah.
Maybe he's excited to play. His teammates are saying he's excited to be back at practice and playing, and they expect big things from him. I don't know. It's an interesting storyline to watch, though. We'll see. We'll switch on over to college football here. Boy, does any team want to win this national championship here?
Yes.
Who do you think is number one?
In my heart, Air Force. All they do is cover. All they do is hit the over. Air Force overs. It's been a bit on our podcast. It's only hit. I love Air Force so much.
I mean, they're not even just covering. They're
beating teams' asses. Their schedule, they could
Are they
run the
ranked?
table. They're not ranked.
They were ranked last year, right?
No.
I think they were last year, the year
they
before.
were in the low 20s.
Yeah, they
They might
in.
get to it this year
But
because
they
they're not
didn't-
going to
they
lose a
didn't
game.
end there, yeah.
They're not
Okay.
losing a game this year.
Okay. But yeah, look, this is the first weekend that I had, forgive me, that I wasn't traveling. Dan and I get to watch like half of these games out of the back of somebody's truck or whatever it is when we're doing these live shows at the tailgate. So I actually got to watch the full slates all the way around and try to figure this out. I'm going to start with that Utah game on Friday night. Utah has an excellent defense. Cam Rising did not play again. This 21 points, by the way, one was like a pick six, and it was stupid. Ukulele looked like dog shit.
It doesn't matter, dude. Oregon State's offensive line and their run game is legit. Like, Oregon State's awesome.
One of their touchdowns was on like a 4th and 1 sneak little Tom Brady thing that they just pulled back and went around.
Yeah.
And just ran it for like 40 yards.
I don't know how they got the dudes they have on the offensive line, but like they got some big boys. Like Oregon State can push it.
Yeah, they do. Their problem is they're going to meet up with the Oregons and the Washingtons of the world.
Sure.
But there was one poll that I saw. This is what I want to ask you guys about over the weekend. It was like a fan thing. And they had Washington at 1. To me, I have no problem with that. After watching Georgia and the rest of these guys over the weekend, I would maybe slot Michigan at 1 and then Washington at 2. But I don't have Georgia there. Like,
I think it's kind of meaningless. Like usually there might be a 1, but more likely in any year, other than these Georgia years recently, usually there's like a 1 through 3 or 1 through 4. And you're like, yeah, those are the top 4 teams. I'm not sure how much distinction there is between 1 through 10 right now.
They should move up the 12-team playoff.
This would be the best possible year to start the 12-team playoff. It's fucking insane. I think people are overreacting to that Georgia game, though, because it's at Auburn. That's like not only is that a rivalry game, that is like a deep rivalry game. That is the only team Auburn hates more than Georgia is Alabama.
They're going to lose to Kentucky.
Georgia?
Yeah.
They're not going to cover. I don't think
they didn't cover in this game, and that was one of the few bets that I won this weekend.
Kentucky's mean.
They're not going to lose to Kentucky.
They're going to lose to Kentucky.
Is it at Kentucky?
No, it's at Georgia. I think Georgia's going to win.
14.5. They probably won't cover though. You're right. They haven't been covering at all this year.
Yeah,
I think they're like 1-3 against the spread or some shit, or 1-4.
So the South Carolina game, it was 14-3 at half. They were down. They were down in this one for a while, and I don't know. Now, a lot of our Georgia listeners out there, Ethan Ward is one of our admins out there. He's a very, very staunch Georgia Bulldogs fan. He wants Bobo fired. He wants Rick fired. He wants the whole fucking thing gone over there. And
I'm in a burn it all
I have
down
good news for him
mood.
about Rick.
After this weekend, I'm in a burn it all down mood.
Oh, yeah, we'll get to your team.
Yeah,
in
get
a
rid of
second.
Gus. Fuck him.
I asked Dan
Fuck
if he
Gus.
was. I asked Dan about that. I was like, "Are you actually mad, or do you really want Gus's? Are you just like mad, or do you want
On a
Gus's head
pike.
And yeah, he was like on a pike. I want his head.
You can't blow a 28-point lead in the
It was
fourth quarter.
28-0 at halftime. That was the second game that I turned off at halftime.
They had a touchdown. It was 35-7. They scored a field goal with like 3 minutes left in the third. So it was 35-10 going into the fourth quarter.
Okay.
Feeling good. I think. Look, Georgia though, like they've played probably 2 of their. I don't know, not hardest necessarily, but like South Carolina is always funky with them, and Auburn's Auburn. I mean, I think their schedule's better than people gave it credit
They
for.
got to go at Vanderbilt. And Florida is up and down. It depends on the week if they're good or not, right? They have Florida at home, and then Missouri. That's another
Your
one.
undefeated Mizzou Tigers.
Yeah, it's like, well, I mean, if the game is coming down to the end and Missouri has the ball and it's like a tie game and they're within 80 fucking yards,
We're good to go.
it's a fucking field goal, right? That dude's got a massive leg.
And then also Ole Miss. I think they're losing 1 or 2 games this year.
One of those, Kentucky, Missouri, Ole Miss, they could, or even maybe
Then
Florida.
at Tennessee, right?
Yeah, but I don't think Tennessee's that good.
I'm out on
either.
Tennessee as
In
well.
Knoxville, though,
Yeah, I mean, it's
Knoxville
different.
is a different story.
It's different, but if they're coming into that game undefeated already, they're not losing that game.
But they got destroyed by Florida. I mean, it wasn't even close in that.
Yeah, but
fucking
Florida's like,
Tennessee.
if Florida
games matter, man.
Florida's
They
like
do.
a weird mixed drink. Like most of the time tastes like shit. It's like a retarded person making you a Long Island iced tea. They might get it right.
Well, I'm even more retarded because I bet on Florida this weekend. It was 1.
You shouldn't bet
1
on
point.
them ever.
That's
Look,
crazy.
they're
Have you,
terrible.
dude? Kentucky is there, and Missouri is actually kryptonite, dude. The Stoops those Stoops teams get up against certain teams, and it's Kentucky.
it's the best gig for him.
Oh yeah,
Like
I
he
mean,
just wins 8-9 games a year, no pressure.
What do you think about Duke's performance against Notre Dame? I thought it was pretty good.
Look, they had it. They had the game.
I think it's a top 25 team for sure.
Oh yeah.
when
They
did
had
Sam
the
Hartman learn to
fucking game,
run,
dude?
right?
Yeah, dude.
Oh my god, dude. Yeah, that
Fourth and 16.
letting up a 17-yard scramble to keep that game alive. That's just brutal.
They
I mean,
had the game right there.
and I understand not spying Hartman, but there was no one there. There was no one that could close. It was fourth down.
One guy.
It wasn't like he converted a 3rd and 16, a 4th and 16, and no one can get to him. They're all that far away, and that didn't seem like it was designed, right?
No, he went through his reads. There was nobody open, and he decided to run. And the defense just did not have one fucking person.
I don't think the defense saw it.
And if you decide to make that run, you got to make it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Harmon.
Yeah.
Well, he did, and because they were, if you heard the telecast, he didn't make it in the Ohio State game, and then he said at the press conference afterwards, he goes, "I was making it hell or high water this time," and he did. I mean, he made the fucking run, and it was what?
Made it with like a yard to spare.
I know, because he slid too, or else he could have fucking kept going.
Yeah.
So that was shocking. Duke deserved to win that
Although
game.
is
the cutaways to the crowd.
Riley
were my
Leonard
favorite.
hurt now? Is he done?
He will be. That looked like a nasty injury at the end of that
He was in
game.
pain, yeah.
But the cutaways to that crowd were my favorite because it's the real Duke student body there. They were all Asian, Indian. There wasn't one white person there.
At least they stayed, right?
They did. Then
The
they stayed
problem
for the
with
whole game, yeah.
half the reason we lost against Baylor and allowed Baylor to come back is our entire fan base left the game.
Because it was a blowout.
It was empty.
Yeah.
Back to the tailgates, baby.
Back to the tailgates. Michigan.
Be better.
Michigan looks as good as advertised, man. I actually don't have a problem with Michigan. It's either Michigan or Washington, onesie-twosie to me. Kansas lost a lot of money on that. They could not cover 17 points.
Jalen Daniels was out.
Yeah, their starting quarterback didn't play.
Oh, he was out?
Yeah.
What happened to
He's
him?
got a weird back situation.
Doctor said he needed
yeah.
a backiotomy. So,
But I mean, Bean's a 5th-year senior. He's been there forever. He's actually beaten Texas before.
Yeah, and they were close. The score, it was closer than
It was
the score
13-7
indicates.
at halftime, and it was fun. And then the second half, they
Yeah, I don't
poured
know what
it on.
happened. I had him in a teaser, and I'm like, oh,
20. Oh, dude.
don't have to worry about this.
No.
23 points.
What?
We're good.
That's what I thought too. I was like, what the fuck is going on here, dude? And then I caught this at the end, and I was like, there's no way this is a real score. 27 unanswered points for Texas there at the end of the game. That's the answer.
I think this week we'll talk about more in the college football podcast. But the way Texas has been playing, I think you can catch good live odds on them against OU.
Because they keep blowing teams out in the 4th quarter.
Late. It's always late.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so I think you can get probably maybe even plus odds on Texas in the Red River Shootout next week if you.
But are they
follow
worthy of a
No.
3? Are they worthy of a
Yeah,
3
Texas
seed?
is legit as fuck.
I mean, they're
the defense is the offense seems inconsistent still to me, but the defense is pretty fucking good. I
And
mean,
Quinn Ewers is good.
They jammed up. I know he's good, but like this, and it's not even just the players. I think maybe that defense just seems like the offense seems like it's just okay, but the defense is pretty good. This is the best Texas defense.
And I mean,
in a
look at
long
Bama
time.
now. Bama, my Bama stock's up ever since I bought them at
Oh
$1
yeah,
dollar.
Mississippi State.
I'm not up.
They
on
really
that.
did it,
No,
bud.
Yeah, I'm definitely not up on
Let's
that.
get
Last week too, they beat Ole Miss.
Let's get into the
Ole Miss just beat
Medal
LSU
for- How do you?
They
What do you
did
in a giant
man.
shootout. It was awesome.
What was that, dude?
How do you feel about Oregon Stanford ending the same way that Oregon Colorado did?
Of last week?
Because I don't think that Stanford is anywhere close to as good as Colorado.
No.
But the scores were the same.
The scores were identical. Look,
Which is interesting.
It was a weird thing, and I think I said this off air maybe, but I got to watch this game, and then I took a nap, had the kids. It was fucking 35-7 right before the end of the second. I wrote that game off. Colorado came back and scored a gajillion points there after that, and kept it close against USC. UNC's defense is going to be their downfall. Not that it isn't for every Lincoln Riley team, but Washington barely beat Arizona there.
feisty Arizona. By the way,
It
you
was
want to know,
a backdoor cover situation,
you wanna
which I
know
was
why?
upset about.
You want to know why the Pac-12 is dead? We were talking about this in our group text. You couldn't watch that Washington Arizona game.
It was on the Pac-12 network. No one has that.
The Heisman front runner playing, and maybe the best team in the country playing against a not bad
A
Arizona
feisty
team.
3-1 at the time Arizona team.
And no one in the whole fucking country could watch it. Penix was basically on an MLB blackout for anywhere that wasn't the very West Coast.
Yeah, it's
363 yards for him. Nobody saw it.
LSU sucks. Their defense is so bad, they're not going to win anything. It's like this, as good as Texas defense is compared to recent Texas defense, this is the worst LSU defense I've seen in a long time.
This was a very, very fun game to watch.
Yeah, sure,
proposed-
but they looked like a Pac-12 team.
They did.
LSU should be able to absorb Iowa's defense.
Just combine
Yeah, combine the
them.
two units.
Man, I watched this because I had LSU minus 2.5. That was a mistake. That was another mistake for me on the weekend. And my God, man.
I don't think so. They were close to winning that game.
Were
but
they?
2.5.
But if
I mean, I guess.
55-49, though, I mean,
I guess they wouldn't have covered if they scored the touchdown, though.
You cannot in a conference game give up 21 points in the fourth quarter. You can't.
They're up 9 with like 5 minutes left.
Yeah.
2 scores.
I know, dude. Lost all the money. The good news is it'll shake out this weekend. Oklahoma plays Texas this weekend, so we'll have an answer-ish on one of those two teams.
Oklahoma's not on Texas's level.
50-20. They keep putting up points again, man.
They don't put up. This is the first time they put up points against. I mean, even mediocre
Iowa State
teams.
stinks.
Yeah, I know they're worse than Cincinnati and SMU.
Yes,
and Cincinnati and SMU like kept the Sooners' offense in check.
Dylan Gabriel pads his stats against shit teams, and when he actually plays a real team like Texas this week, he's going to get a shit push.
I think what was Texas favored, like 5 or 6, or was it 3 or something like that?
Texas
I'm all over Texas.
Texas by 3 scores.
Yeah, I'm all over Texas for that game.
Okay. And then South Carolina, they did well against Georgia, and then they got fucking blown out against Tennessee at Tennessee.
Well, that's because South Carolina is Tennessee's Super Bowl, according to Spencer Rattler.
Are you kidding?
He
Did
goes,
you say that?
Yeah, after the loss, he was like, I mean, they came out like it was their Super Bowl or whatever, so that's why.
Well,
you
because of
should
what they
every
did
single
to him
game.
last
Right.
year.
Well, I mean, they were just trying hard like idiots, fucking pussies, trying hard.
Yeah, what the fuck, dude?
He's a fucking idiot.
Because South Carolina kind of ruined their year last year.
They did, yeah.
They did, yeah. But Hooker was out for that
Right.
last game, so whatever. This Florida-Kentucky game I watched because I had a shit ton of money on it, and it wasn't the Kentucky quarterback. Their fucking running back had 300 yards rushing. I mean, it was nuts.
Stoops team, baby.
There was no
Ray
fucking
Davis.
defense for Florida.
It's a
I've
Stoops
never
team.
seen. I'm not kidding. I think he had. Oh yeah, 280 yards. It was his exact total.
Yeah, it's a
And
kid
3
that transferred
touchdowns.
from Vandy, right?
Yep. So that bushed it. Missouri 38-21. Congrats, Bob, to you. Didn't watch it. Was that game ever close?
A little closer than I wanted it to be, but they ended up covering, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, don't give up 2 touchdowns to Vanderbilt in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Maybe.
It was essentially like, it was on some dumb shit. Like, it wasn't.
This game was not as close as the score
No.
shows.
No.
unfortunately.
We played well. Just a couple broken plays, like literally 2 broken plays. So it is what it is. But we covered. Good teams win, great teams cover.
Yeah. The next up game for next weekend, Texas-Oklahoma is one to watch for. The week after that, though, is probably the biggest game of the season so far, in my opinion. Oregon versus Washington, and that will determine a lot in the Pac-12.
It's gonna be fun.
As well
I
as
assume
the
it'll-
rankings.
I assume it'll be on only public access TV in Oakland, California.
Oh, I thought you were going to say it's going to be on OnlyFans.
Oh, no.
It's a whole
They're
different
close.
kind of
Millions
You're
of
getting
people would
close.
see that.
Yeah, you're getting close to that happening here.
No, they're going to put Phoenix, all the rest of Phoenix's games on just public access, and it only works on like fucking the old VHF antennas.
Yeah.
You can't get it through digital media.
You need to
anymore.
literally go buy a wire hanger and some aluminum foil.
Yeah, what is this guy? Like they're trying to hide him or what?
I guess because they were sucking off Caleb Williams for the Colorado game. Like, oh, he's clearly the front runner for the Heisman. It's
I
like, well,
would-
I don't know. There's a man in his own conference who's just as many touchdowns.
USC, who's their TV contract with? Is it still Pac-12 network, right?
Well, they're Pac-12.
But that game was on the Fox.
Next year, though, it's Big Ten, so they go back to normal shit, and you can see those teams at least play.
I mean, I think both the Pac-12 and the Big Ten have Fox contracts.
Yes.
But Pac-12 network, it's just not distributed anywhere.
You got Gus
Yeah.
calling your games.
It's hot.
It's the best.
Gus Johnson's the best, dude. He's
And
the
then
fucking best.
Joel Klatt.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great team. He's great. I love it. But the next 2 weeks, some more things will start to shake out over there. Let's switch on over to Major League Baseball. Playoffs are set. I know you guys are doing a huge special on Wednesday here. Orioles ended up winning the fucking division, man. Nobody had that this year.
Got him to win the World Series.
They won 101 games.
I know.
And won the division.
That's amazing, dude. Rays won 99 and came in second.
But they also had 32 blown saves on the season.
The Orioles?
Yes.
Really?
As a matter of fact, there were a number of teams. Hold on, I can look it up very quick. But there were a number of teams who either won their division or made the playoffs who had a very high number of blown saves. It was weird.
It has not been a great year for bullpens. I don't think there's really a dominant bullpen in the league.
Or does that say they're always up?
What?
They've been up in so many games that, of course.
Well,
they're gonna
yes,
blow them
yeah.
out.
If you have a good offense, you're gonna blow
Technically,
more
a blown
saves.
save is giving up the lead anytime after the 5th inning is over. Right?
Okay.
So, like, if a middle reliever comes in and it's
And beefs
4 to
it.
5 and he gives up 1 run to tie it or something, that's a blown save technically. But
But if you're winning after 5, typically your win expectancy is like at 60% or above, probably. So I mean, But there's not really a single great bullpen in these playoffs, which means these playoffs are probably going to be fucking nuts.
Yeah, I mean, so American League is sets here. So is National League, obviously. Baltimore Orioles are in. Tampa Bay Rays are in. Minnesota Twins are in. Houston Astros are in. And the Texas Rangers?
Yes.
Texas Rangers are in.
They don't know who's going to pitch
For
the Texas Rangers.
Why not?
Because all of their pitchers are dead.
Okay.
What's Dane Dunning's situation? Is he hurt?
That I don't know.
Because he would be there too. Jordan
I
Montgomery.
mean, presumably Jordan Montgomery is going to be one, and then it should have been actually DeGrom and then Scherzer and then Jordan Montgomery, right?
Yeah.
No. They
Or
traded for
not
Montgomery.
Not Scherzer. Yeah.
So it would have
That's
been
right,
Dunning, probably
Yeah,
third.
Dunning. But as of right now, there's no starter listed for Game 2 for the Rangers.
That's not great.
Dane Dunning will be pitching, and he's not
Presumably,
hurt, so
yeah.
he's probably their Game 2 starter.
Okay. National League is set. Atlanta Braves, Philadelphia Phillies, Miami Marlins, 3 teams out of the NL East. Milwaukee Brewers, our beloved Cubs didn't make it. RIP. It was fun, and at least we got to go to one of the last games at Wrigley this year. And the Dodgers are in there, along with the Arizona Diamondbacks. Any surprises out of there?
I wouldn't have picked the Diamondbacks at the beginning of the year. Like, if you told me at the beginning of the year the Diamondbacks were going to make the playoffs, I would have been shocked. The Phillies, I picked as a wild card. The Marlins, like we've talked about, I said had a shot. I said they had a shot. I wasn't like super confident.
Well, they did it, Bob. So
Yeah,
I was
they
going
did.
to give you credit.
All
You
right.
didn't have to fucking out yourself, but whatever, man.
But the Brewers certainly felt to me like a favorite. I would have said Brewers or Cardinals at the beginning of the year. Obviously, the Cardinals finishing last. But yeah,
Just seems like a can't lose scenario for me with my Marlins playing my Phillies. You know?
It really does. It really does for you. I mean, it's all
Please-
lining up Delco this
do they
year.
play tomorrow? Please wear your Marlins hat. With
Is
the
it
Phillies
tomorrow?
jersey.
They do, yeah.
Yeah, please wear that ending.
I'll do that, yeah.
I think it's the second. Hold on, let me look at the calendar.
They have to play all 3 games in a row. I think everybody plays all 3 days, right?
Yeah, so
all
the
3
Rays,
days, yeah.
by the way, are at home. So if you want to go drink some hard AF seltzer at the Rays game tomorrow, please do so. They're the first game up tomorrow, 2 o'clock on ABC. So they're going prime time with that, which is nice, or daytime, I guess.
7 p.m. Central for that Marlins Phillies game.
Ooh, let's go, dude. It's fucking hard AF seltzer all the way around. So what's the deal with this? Because it changes, I feel like, every year.
I know.
Are you just winning one game, or do you have to win the best out of 3?
The best out of 3, all games played at the higher seeds park.
Citizen Bank.
Yeah.
All right, so let me ask you this. With the Marlins Phillies, because Phillies got the home field advantage, if they win the first 2 at home, I'm assuming
They only play at
is it
home.
1-1-1-1?
No.
It's
They
3.
only play at home.
3 in Philly.
Shit. Is
Yeah.
it really?
Yeah.
When did the fucking do that? When did they do that?
Last
Started
year.
last year, yeah.
Yeah.
God damn, that's an advantage.
Well,
Shit.
Marlins shouldn't really even be in the
They
playoffs.
sure should, because they're going to win.
Get back to 4 teams.
They're going to win. They're going to go back home, and it's going to be hard AF seltzers all over each
The
other.
Marlins have only lost 1 playoff series in their entire history.
I'm all in on the Marlins.
And it was the COVID year.
Yeah, it was to the Braves
Doesn't
in the
even
COVID year.
count.
So in
Yeah,
a
it
regular
doesn't
year,
count.
the Marlins have never lost a playoff series.
Yep.
I know.
Marlins all in on Marlins here.
Either way.
Any shot they can beat the Phillies?
Yeah, totally.
Whoever wins the series, we're coming for you.
It's a 3-game series, man. Anything can happen. I mean, the Marlins are severely shorthanded. Arez is hurt, but I think he's going to play. Alcantara is out.
He is out.
Luzardo's in though; he's good.
Yeah.
I mean they've got they're
Luzardo's going to start tomorrow night.
yeah, but and so a 3-game series is the only chance they have to win a series
I think so.
because their pitching is shallow. But they do have the ability to win that series.
And I think, it's a 3-game series. They did win the season series against the Phillies, and they won both series at Citizens Bank. So
And historically, Nola, awful against the fucking Marlins.
really,
I mean, he's been awful against everybody this year, hasn't he?
He's been okay. He's been better.
he's been getting better.
Let me see these stats before. I
The one thing I wanted to ask you guys
believe
about
some
with the
bullshit you
Braves
said.
is the Braves allegedly are going to leave the ballpark open and practice in front of fans.
Yes.
Is that true? And they said that they
were
going
going to do
avoid
simulated
the
games
rust.
in front of fans.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
so Snicker said they wanted to prepare harder or practice harder over the layoff this year than they did last year. He kind of hedged it. He was like, I thought we were fine last year. I thought our practice was good last year, but we just want to go harder. We want to really shake the rust off. So basically they were like, fuck, we went in too soft last year. Although I think part of the reason for that is they needed a breather. because that last year's division race went down to literally the last game or second to last game.
Yeah.
And I think they really did kind of like take some time off because they were just hands on knees, like whatever.
Luckily, they did that like 2 weeks ago.
Right.
So, they're in a lot better position this year. By the way, NOLA, good August, 3.68 ERA. September in 5 starts, 5.47 ERA.
Sweet.
That's not great.
Love to see it.
Well, yes.
Another unusual thing that I hope you guys chat about on Wednesday with your guests is all of these first-round games, these wild card games, are at the exact same time every single day in the same teams. Why did they decide to do that?
It fucks with people. It's really like, baseball player, every sport for sure. Like we talk about college football games being at 11 or 10 and being like, dude, it's going to fuck with the players or whatever, right? But baseball players more than anybody are creatures of like timing, right?
Yeah.
So you just need it gives everyone just more consistency and allows the players to not be fucked over by, weird rotating schedules, because in the regular season, you do pretty much play at the same time every day in a series, right? So if you play the Braves midweek, you're going to play at 7 or 7:30 every day in Atlanta, right? 7:30 Eastern or whatever it is. You know what I mean? So
1:20 p.m. Friday game in Chicago, like they do that every Friday. Like, I understand that.
So they're just trying to keep it consistent, which they should.
The most important baseball story today is that our boy Trevor Bauer has won his legal battle, and in an embarrassing way to the woman. You can go on Twitter and find his little workup that he did, but you can see this woman texting that this is why you don't do shit and then take somebody to court, because all your shit gets subpoenaed to you, right? So her text messages to her friend are like, he has a net worth, like literally she said he has a net worth of $51 million. And the girl's like, oh, you got to get your hooks in. She goes, don't worry, I'm already doing it. I'm going to get him to choke me and be a complete whore for him.
Shut the fuck up.
All of this is just laid bare in front of the world. So as of today, her lawsuit has been withdrawn with prejudice, which means she cannot file a lawsuit again on those grounds. And
As has his.
Yeah. He withdrew his with prejudice as well, which is usually you'll do that. You're in a proffering session, two attorneys will agree to that.
Yeah.
But mostly, which means he's not going to countersue her, which he would be well within his rights to do. So he made $6 million plus whatever the $27 million that he got from LA.
Yeah.
For just like, here's your money, get the fuck out.
Yeah.
And now he's eligible to sign with a Major League Baseball team next year. So come to the Braves. We have a long history of accepting people who abuse others.
We keep Marcelo Zuna around for some reason.
Atlanta in general, all right? Ray Lewis murdered there. We had Michael Vick there.
Yeah, but he didn't play for the team.
He didn't, but it's the whole city that's behind
and then
it.
Didn't Roethlisberger rape some girl in a fucking bathroom there?
That was in Georgia.
That was in Georgia,
Sure.
yeah.
The state, right?
Yeah.
State?
Yeah,
100%.
it was a finger allegedly there. I wasn't in the bathroom.
How many
I
knuckles?
want to say allegedly.
Deep did he get?
Doesn't matter.
Because if it's just the first part of your digit,
fucking hand
I know,
is?
but if it's the first phalange, I don't think that even counts.
His middle finger is bigger than most people's cocks, though, is the problem.
Like, would it be sexual assault still if you just touched a little piece of the labia with just the edge of your pinky?
Yes.
His clawed hands.
I don't know, man. With his, maybe.
His hands?
Yeah, he's got big sausage
Yeah,
hands.
dude. Yeah.
Either way, I don't want Trevor Bauer.
Oh, you don't?
At all. No, he's a fucking head case. I don't want that.
Yeah,
guy.
it's not what you want necessarily in the clubhouse.
No,
The Padres would love him.
Sure, yeah.
The Padres perfect for the Padres.
Playing in Japan.
What?
Yeah.
It's been playing in Japan.
Yeah. He's
And
just
getting into arguments with people and starting fights and shit.
I'm okay with that.
That's sweet.
I
he,
guess.
I would
he
do
is just
that.
like a weird, and not in like a Zach Greinke weirdo way. It's just like, yeah, he's a weirdo.
No, I do think though that he's going to be back with somebody. Probably not the Yankees. I don't think they would take him.
The
No.
Kansas City Royals.
No.
You know,
They don't
who
have the money. He's
They
going to
don't
make
have the
30
money.
mil. He'll
Yeah.
make 30 mil a year.
Maybe.
They don't have the money.
It depends on what the market is for him.
Yeah.
San
fair
Diego
enough.
Padres.
Well, here's two teams that I think potentially is the Padres, or maybe he goes back to the Reds, who need pitching.
Yeah.
Who he played for before, who would be a sort of maybe easier transition.
It's an invisible city that isn't very big. There's
I mean-
not a lot of problems you can get into.
They'll
There's
have
like
some
4
cap space
bars.
because all of their good players are fucking still on rookie contracts.
Yeah. Yep.
So maybe.
We'll switch on over to the NBA here. Dame Lillard got traded out of nowhere.
Wait, you don't want to talk about fucking
Milwaukee Bucks.
fucking emo Jimmy? Did you see that this morning?
Emo Jimmy?
Oh boy.
Oh my God,
Just
you fucking.
Google Jimmy.
We'll get there. Oh yeah, Jimmy Butler. Yes,
Yeah,
correct.
yeah.
But we're in the NBA now, but that takes a little bit of precedence.
No, I don't think so.
Dame Lillard to the Bucks. Nobody had on their fucking bingo card. I can't think of anyone that would be able to stop that team fully healthy. They didn't have to give up Middleton. Drew Holiday got traded last night. I'm all in on the Bucks this year.
Certainly, they couldn't keep Drew Holiday because of the cap space and rotation and everything like that. This makes them better offensively, and it makes them considerably worse defensively. Considerably worse. Drew Holiday is the best defensive point guard in the league.
And Lillard is not a defender.
He's the worst.
Right.
I mean, it's either him or Steph Curry probably that are the worst defenders, right?
But the knock on the Bucks was they don't have anybody to go to in crunch time. Now they got the ultimate guy in crunch time.
Yeah. He certainly
With
isn't shot
Giannis and those pick and rolls, like holy shit. And Middleton, you've got leaders on that team and everything else. I don't really see a weakness there.
Well, the defense is going to go down precipitously.
Right.
It'll be
And
bad.
but
But
their offense is
But
gonna
yeah,
go on.
so Dame is one of the better point guards. It's him and Steph playing off the ball as a point guard. It's those two and nobody else, right? Like every other point guard needs the ball to be effective. They are, and they're like two historically great players.
Just catch and shoot guys, man. They can do it. It's an exciting trade there.
I don't think anybody in the East is going to touch him, but
No. I mean, but I still feel like Boston's all fucked up.
Well,
to be
Drew
honest.
Holiday went to Boston.
Yeah.
So he got traded there. At least they're making some moves.
They're just trying, but they lost Marcus Smart, so that's a 1-for-1 for me. That's the same guy. I mean, Marcus Smart's a little bit taller, a little bit better passer probably, but that's a 1-for-1.
But he's a good defender.
Because Marcus Smart, once he hits a 3 early in the game, he thinks he needs to fire up 16 threes
Yeah,
in the game.
he's a
liability
He's
when
a
it
bit of a
comes-
head case, yeah, but he's a better offensive producer than Drew Holiday.
I don't think so.
You can look at the statistics.
I'd
and
take
they'll
Drew
show you.
Holiday.
I
on
would
that
say
team.
Drew Holiday.
I would take
in
it for
every
his
aspect
defense, yeah.
over Marcus
For his
Smart.
defense and the fact that he doesn't do dumb shit, which is a good point.
Yeah.
I would take him too.
But it's fun. And then
Marcus Smart is over in
Memphis.
Memphis with Ja Morant.
The other
now,
head
who's not?
case.
He can't play for a while. How long is he suspended?
40 games.
Yeah.
You have 40 for that?
Yeah.
For what?
For gatting it up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Putting
Yeah,
that
but, like,
gun
what
on the
did he-
gram, dog.
What did he actually do?
Exactly. And if the gun was legal, what did he actually do? I'm with you. I don't think that suspension fits it, but hey, it's the NBA. What are you going to do? Now we can talk about fucking Jimmy Butler's haircut.
I love it.
I've said he was gay for years. I'm like, we've known. That just confirmed it to me. Even the press conference he did with that little voice, too, was very strange. Did you guys watch that at all?
I didn't see it. What was the voice?
He's just trolling. He goes, "Oh no, I'm emo Jimmy now," and he's got like he
did a whole press
He even
conference
had
like
you could
that.
tell he even had like eyeliner on and shit. I don't know what is he just get
He had
bored
fake
Yeah.
earrings,
I-
like
yeah.
nose rings and shit, too.
on his lips and shit. I think he's just like on drugs. Maybe
It's just Miami, you know?
no.
I love him so much.
Is it? Is it just Miami?
It's just Miami.
No. He's
or is it just Jimmy?
I don't know. He's one of my favorite basketball players though.
I think Jimmy is exactly living the life that he's supposed to. And good for him.
It's been the 2 NBA finals.
Sure has. He sure has. And if they would have got him Dame Lillard like he asked for, they might have been to 3. They fucking boned him on that. What does Miami do now?
Well, listen,
They're gonna
Milwaukee
trade
has
for
beautiful
Harden.
beaches.
They do.
They do.
They do.
Harden?
They do.
Oh yeah. No. I'm kidding.
No.
Oh.
But he is not showing up to any.
Harden's
of the
not doing
mandatory
anything.
team
Yes,
stuff.
he announced that today. What does Philly do
Well,
with
look,
Harden?
I mean, I
don't
forget
care what
how
we
long
do.
was Tyler Hero hurt last year because he didn't
Most
really-
of the year. I
He
think
wasn't
he-
really effective
No.
in the playoffs. Certainly,
He was out by like
He was out for the whole
mid-December,
playoffs.
I think,
Yeah.
So
or something.
maybe I mean
He had a broken wrist.
maybe their addition is just fucking Tyler Hero's back now.
Yeah, but they lost. Who's the other guy they lost? Hold on, let me look.
Kyle Lowry.
Oh, did they lose
That's-
Kyle Lowry?
Kyle Lowry is terrible.
Yeah, he was all right.
He's old. No,
He's
doesn't
old
Peach.
now.
He's built like, I mean, he's got a fucking donk on him.
yeah, he does.
He won
He
a
does.
title though.
He does have a nice.
He won a
butt,
title.
you know.
got a
Won a
Let's
championship there. He's got a ring over there.
Flags fly forever.
Tyler Hero, Josh Richardson, Jimmy Butler, Kevin Love, and Bam Adebayo. Kyle Lowry's still on the team,
All right, good for him.
and I thought Duncan Robinson was gone, but he's still on the roster. It looks like.
Sweet. I mean, that dude, and also that's like a top 3 or 4 coach team in the league. So like they're always a threat to.
And
make
they
the
also
finals.
have Nikola Jokic.
What?
They have a young Jokic.
Okay.
He is 20 years old. He was just drafted in the 2022 draft. He's been in the G League, I think, and he played a little bit last year. 15 appearances last year, but he's a mini Jokic.
Dude,
All right,
6'10", 205. He needs to put on some weight.
put on some weight.
I'm
there.
telling you, look out for the Suns. I just love Nurkic on the Suns. If Nurkic can stay healthy for the first and maybe only year in his life, Suns are trouble.
Check it out.
And they got rid of Chris
I'm not worried
Paul.
about the Suns.
No.
I'm not worried about my team. I'm not worried about the Sixers.
I can't wait to see the.
Who are you worried about?
Nobody.
No one.
I'm out. I'm opting out of the NBA this year.
Are you really?
Yes.
It's probably a smart move.
Yeah, you're all good on the NBA.
I mean,
this year.
honestly, it's so uncreative, but like Nugs repeat. That whole team's coming back. That
are.
whole fucking team.
As long as
Yeah,
they
but
stay healthy.
that was the first year they ever stayed healthy too.
True.
So maybe it's a trend set. Maybe we'll see. I'm looking forward to watching the Warriors play just because I have no idea what that's going to look like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kawhi Leonard had a sweet comment today on the new rest rules in the NBA.
Not playing.
He goes, "No league policy helping me play more," and then just walked off.
Is that what he really said?
That's what he really said, word for word.
Jesus Christ.
I love him. I love him. I love Kawhi Leonard. I would
He's-
love to see these interviews all day long.
That dude is fucking cancer.
Is he, or is he just so fucking weird that it doesn't
Champion.
matter? He is a champion.
He's a champion because
multiple. How many rings does he have? 3?
Two?
One.
Two. He won one with the
two.
Spurs.
Yeah,
Spurs,
one with
yeah.
Spurs, yeah. He actually he almost won the MVP of that fucking finals
Yeah.
as well.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, I think it was like fucking 22 at the time. He was young.
He was really young.
Yeah, he was really good.
I mean, he was on the last Duncan team that won.
Yeah, Ginobili, Parker, Duncan,
And then Kawhi.
and Kawhi Leonard. Yeah,
That was fucking nasty team.
They
And
whooped
then-
the Heat's ass.
Well, he did also lose a finals to the Heat.
Yeah, but then they came back and won 4-1.
Yeah.
I was not surprised at his answer. I was surprised at what the NBA is trying to do with this in-season playoff tournament thing. I don't really understand what the
don't know
fuck
what it
that's
means.
about either.
I don't know.
Just yeah.
It's odd. I get you wanting to sit out the NBA. We'll see what happens here. LeBron also did a press conference today saying AD is the face of the Lakers, and please deflect all the attention off of him.
I kind of feel like that league is like perilously close to not mattering. Like it's just the regular season is such a
Yeah.
fucking mess.
LeBron is now giving out NFL picks.
Yep.
Just like us.
Yeah.
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 Like it's everyone in that league. The fucking players know that the regular season is worthless. Like they know it. That's why they don't play.
I know.
Because the stars only have to play 50% of the games for their team to get in. They don't give a fuck if they're a 4 seed or a 1
NBA
seed.
fans don't even care.
No.
They don't watch the games.
Well, here's what you do in the first round of the playoffs. You take all home games away from the lower seed.
I agree. You got to
do something, right?
You got to start incentivizing it.
Yeah.
The only other thing I would say, and this has been my idea forever, is make them play series. I said this about baseball too before, but make them play series and a 3-game series, and then whoever wins that series, that's a win.
Yeah.
And it's a point system, and then
Start to develop rivalries that way too.
yeah, and then so you can rest a game, I guess, if you win the series 2-0, and then like overall record would be like a tiebreaker situation for first, second seed, whatever the fuck.
Yeah, I agree. That would help for sure. And then we'll end this show with a piece of shit of the week, which is definitely Kurt Schilling on that. Tim Wakefield died yesterday. Call this a case of bad timing. I mean, what the fuck? You come out on a podcast and say it out of nowhere 3 days ago. The team has to release a statement with his wife saying, please respect our privacy at this time, and we don't really care to comment on the matter.
I think
And then
Jason
he ends
Verrett-
up dying fucking 3 days later.
Yeah, I think Jason Veritek's wife ended up tweeting at him being like, that wasn't your place to say that,
Sure
Kurt.
wasn't.
Well, Wade Boggs said it too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, Wade Boggs is a
But
piece
he's
of shit.
He said, I didn't know that I wasn't supposed to share this. So he may have seen it on Kurt's Instagram and
Oh,
or
got
on
it,
Twitter.
got it,
and
got
then
it.
just,
I know why Kurt would know that Tim had cancer. I don't know why Wade Boggs would know that. I mean, I guess he's...
he may have just seen it on Kurt's Twitter.
Yeah.
Well, they're also those Red Sox players all stick together and do the same events and
I
everything.
don't think they stick together with Kurt Schilling, though, right?
I don't know how
He's a
that
bit of
is.
a pariah.
Also, Wade Boggs is a little older.
Yeah, Wade Boggs didn't play on those.
We can ask Ryan Spader. He's friends with Kurt.
Yeah, hey,
We'll ask him on
do
Wednesday.
me a favor. Yeah, ask those guys on Wednesday. I'm curious about it. People love Wade Boggs. When Dan and I were at the fucking Rays Stadium, there's a statue of him in the Rays Stadium. Like,
I mean,
Is he like one of the only jerseys that's retired for the Rays?
I think so.
they tried to get it...
A listener gave me a jersey.
They tried to get him to go into the Hall as a Ray. The Rays tried to pay him to pick the Rays.
I like that.
How much
for his
money?
hat. Like,
Well, when I think Wade Boggs, I think Rays.
but
So
the
do
Hall
I.
found out. And
Let's see.
was like,
Retired
fuck.
numbers
I like
for
that.
the
I would have
Rays.
taken that money.
Wade Boggs,
Jackie Robinson. Yes.
and Don Zimmer, which are numbers that are across all of baseball.
Zimmer's not. It's just Jackie.
66.
Zimmer was just a bench coach for them.
Oh, he was. You're right.
Yeah, he didn't play for him,
Yeah.
though.
No, yeah.
So a bench coach who got beaten up by Pedro Martinez one time.
Yeah.
And then Jackie Robinson and
It's
then
the best.
Wade Boggs.
They have the best amount of banners up there.
Yeah. They should throw McGriff up there just for shits and gigs.
Why not?
Yeah, I mean, if he had hit 500 when he was there, maybe.
Yeah.
Crime dog.
But he stopped at 493. True.
Put up Canseco, too.
Why not?
Agreed.
Put up all your.
Those are
fucking
the real
hits.
goon years of Canseco, too. Like, he was intentionally fucking pissing around in the outfield and shit. He didn't care.
Oh, yeah.
No, he didn't care.
He's
He
like,
was
is it
doing
my
coke.
turn to hit yet?
He was doing coke in the locker room and shit.
Well, that should always be the case.
And then Jim Capel, the ESPN reporter for MLB, just died. That's a weird one, man. God, I used to read all of his shit. Ask him about that on Wednesday.
People
I
be
don't know how he
dying.
died.
Did they say how? Is it?
AIDS.
Just popped up.
Oh, that's a bummer.
He was good yesterday
writer.
afternoon. He was a great writer.
He was only 61, too. Let's see. Doesn't say.
That's a super strange story. That just popped up. But he was great. Fuck, that's weird. What a weird story. Big game tonight, Seattle at New York. -2.5 there for the Seattle Seahawks. Bet with us or against us. You heard our picks earlier on in the show. Go to iTunes, rate the show a 5-star, and leave a quick review. Also, head on over to Spotify. It's just a 5-star.
Yep.
And you can walk away.
Also, the Euros beat our ass.
It did. Oh, that's right. It's Ryder Cup, dude.
Ryder Cup.
It was such a blowout on day one. I forgot about it after that.
There was a little glimmer of hope.
Well,
Sunday.
day two, I heard they were coming back, and then boom, it all kind of went out the window.
Well, I was
there.
cheering for Europe because I had a Europe ticket. I got Europe at like +150. So,
You bet against our country.
of course.
Sure.
Yeah. On European soil, we haven't won in 30 years.
Perfect.
And also, we're like super unlikable as a team.
Yeah.
Like, the European players are way more likable.
Oh, yeah.
Hovland, Rory,
all those guys,
Rahm.
for
Yeah.
sure. It's just not our year, dude. You know, let's
I'm
get
not
John
cheering
Daly
for
on the
Patrick
team.
Cantlay. I'm sorry.
No, let's get John Daly on the team. Let's figure it out. Let's get a one-legged tiger out there. Like, at least make it entertaining.
Yeah.
If we're gonna lose, let's lose with our
But,
most hilarious
Shouts
people.
to the Euros for my only win this week.
Look at you.
Really.
Yeah, exactly.
Only big win, at
I
least.
lost my fucking ass this weekend. I got to pick it up tonight, kids. I got to pick it up. I'm doubling down on all the things here. It's going to be, if you pop on over to Drinkin' Bros Sports here in about 5 minutes, you're going to see a minority port worth of fucking numbers all over the place for tonight's game as I try to chase my losses this weekend. Fun times, though. You can bet with us against us at mybookie.com. Promo code Drinkin' Bros doubles that deposit to 110% of whatever you put in. Highest in the company's history. Shout out to them for doing it for us and the listeners here. For D'Anthony Holloway, Delco Dan, Hot Bob, I'm Ross Patterson. This is the Monday Morning Recap. Good morning, everyone.